Is there going to be a video?
Yeah, it's on. It's a hydrophobic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zoltan. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that this powder, being hydrophobic, it can encapsulate things. So there is a multiple use for the powder in different applications. We can use it for sewer water treatment. We can encapsulate the solids and remove it from the sewer waters. There is, like I say, application of fire extinguishing. They use actually something similar to, when powder fire extinguishing agents they use, those are like in a sense of oil spills. They burned off a lot of oil in the Mexican Gulf at the time when the oil spill happened. And instead of burning off all the oil, we could have remediated with this powder because it absorbs the oil, it extinguishes the fire, and we can physically actually remove the oil from the waters 100%. There is no leftover in the water. We can completely remove the water.
Yeah. Actually,
the oil from the water.
The video surface water oil remover, it's on now. I mean the short demonstration test.
I actually don't see. Yeah, okay. It's going.
It's when we put
Kinda
oil.
choppy. The video is kind of choppy. Yeah, but.
Yeah, we put oil. Actually, it's a motor oil, but as we said, it doesn't matter which type of oil. When we talk with the scientists and people in Mauritius, and they said it's a difficult oil spill. We don't understand why it's difficult, because it's oil and the powder absorbs any kind of oil.
Any kind of oily substances, basically, any fatty acids.
So we try to keep this test very simple. Yeah. So actually, it's
if it would go a little faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually use. We can create pads. Whatever, we impregnate the pad with this powder, and we just put it on the top of the water, and it absorbs all the oil, and it leaves the water. It completely removes the oil from the water. Let that be crude oil, let that be just motor oil, already refined oil, or just thin layer of oil, anything that, they were talking about that actually, that there are so much like a thin layer of oil, something that is invisible to the naked eye. But for us, it wouldn't be invisible because this powder only absorbs the oil. So it would find any oil that is floating on the surface of the water. At the same time, we can use this powder, like I said, with the powder makes anything, like we use ordinary sand, and we can make the sand water repellent. Actually, we can create water reservoirs with this very easily.
As you can see on this short video clip and tabletop settings, the physical cleanup part of the technology works very well, and the oil is absorbed by the powder and the pad. The surface of the water is crystal clear as before. Just keep in mind, this is not the complete treatment. If it's necessary, when the scientific testing shows toxicity, then the cleanup continues with application of the organic enzyme, Enzinox, if the oil already emulsified with the water body and the biodegradation of the oil to be started. This is another short demonstration, but with used motor oil. You can see it from the color of the oil. Because the used motor oil contains rust and other particles, it colorizes the water, and the water turns in light brownish color as the used oil emulsifies with it. The process is the same. We place the absorption pad, the powder in it, on the top of the water, and it starts to absorb the oil immediately in touch. In this video, we left the blooding pad on the water for 11 minutes, but it can be shorter, and of course, we cut the 40 seconds in the timeless video too. You can see we turned the blooding pad and tried to absorb oil with the other side. But when we remove the pad, you can see the other side did not absorb anything, because the oil from the surface already absorbed by the original side that was touched with the surface oil. When we remove the pad, you can see there is no water dripping back to the surface. Of course not, because it does not absorb the water, only the oily substances. At the end, you can see the surface is clean.
Yeah, the ocean floor cleanup, we send them down, we add the powder, well, our brain Synox, we send it, we can just spoon it in or drop it in anywhere. It goes to the seafloor, and on the seafloor, it would only absorb the oil over from the sediment. It would leave the soil and the water clean. It would stop the oil from acidifying the water, basically. And this material is organic. It's made out of lime. It's made out of calcium, and that way we can replenish the calcium. Also, the calcium known to be close to 12 pH, and that one would help to balance the pH value. And the great thing in this product is that we can target areas where it's known to be acidified because of oil contamination, or like we were approached with some other type of poisonous materials. They're laying on the seafloor, and we can actually cover the things with it, and we can neutralize the poisons as well with our enzyme, because that's added to the powder. And basically this powder is acting like a pill, like a medication. When people take a medication, take a pill, and that one has like a calcium based carrier, and then they put the active ingredient in there. We can do the same thing with this product, because it doesn't get dissolved in water. It repels the water. We can carry this wherever we want. Any active ingredient like medication, some sort of food or anything for the corals. We can cure the corals with it. We can feed the corals with it, and so many things we can do with this product that applies in the ocean waters, lakes. We can use it for killing blue-green algae, red tide. We can mediate anything with it, basically. So this is something like I say, like the medication that we take into our body, and the enzyme act the same way as it acts in our body as well. For feeding, when we eat something.
Yeah, actually, you can see it's a time-lapse video. It's very hard to see, but actually, the brain Xenox, the material absorbs the oil on the ocean floor. You can see how it is clearer and clearer.
We actually have some videos uploaded into YouTube, and we can provide those links probably in the chat section later on, and you will be able to take a look at each one of those, so you can see what it does. At the seafloor, we actually did two different kind of tests. One of them was sweet water, the other one was salt water. we can definitely see that the salt water is a little slower. And you can see that one of them is a little bit taller amount of water. And that was one of the questions from one of the scientists that this scientist actually wrote a report about the Mexican Gulf that after 10 years, there is still oil on the seafloor. And there is no technology to clean this up. So I called him up and I showed him this video that I do have a technology for that. And he was like, what? So his question was, does it work in the depth of, let's say, 3,000 feet? Or does it work in cold? And does it perform under such a pressure, whatever it is down there? And the good thing about this product is that it's an ever-changing formula. We can calculate based on the pressure, based on the chemical formulation of the water. And I have a feeling that this might be an answer for one of the possible questions that, you know, why do like plant-like microorganisms die in the ocean? Because of acidification. The key in everything is the acidification. And by losing the pH value, or as lower the pH value is, the acids, they dissolve the calcium-based shells, you know, like shellfish or things like that. They get dissolved just by 0.1% of a drop in pH value. It creates acidification in the ocean.